Hi everyone, this is Derek with Studio MMA and MMA Nut, and I have Chris Weidman with me, who, of all people here, has, no matter who wins or loses in the main event, you have the best stroke of luck by way of injury than anyone, really?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty impressed with my what I have on as this opportunity. You know, I'm pumped to make the best of it, and it's huge. You know, big step up, and I'm ready to make the best of it.
Now you have Matt Serra that helps you out. You have John over there, but Maia is a different kind of black belt. Do they tell you that going in? Like, this is a different kind of grappler. How do you feel about that?
You know, he's definitely top in the world jiu-jitsu. And I train with the top guys in the world, and I've competed against the top guys of the world in Abu Dhabi, and so I know where I'm at with that, and I'm confident on the ground, and I'm confident in all my submissions that I do. I give him respect, but it's not going to tamper what I'm going to do in the cage.
Now, going into a fight like this, you had a game plan elsewhere. People always talk about game plans. So let's say you were fighting Mike Tyson. Your whole idea is parry, move, hit. This is a whole nother game. It's hit, sprawl, hit, sprawl. Does it throw you off? How does it actually feel as a fighter when they say your game plan has to change?
Oh, well, you're asking if my game plan is changing?
How does it feel as a fighter? Does it bring a new sense of urgency, a new sense of, well, I've been working on this for X amount of time, and now I gotta, how is that for a fighter?
You know, the thing is, every one of my fights, my game plan has always been pretty much the same, is to move forward, punch, kick. If the takedown's there, get the takedown. If there's submissions, go for it. If there's a knockout, go for it. And it's not going to change much. You have to know a little bit about your opponent, his tendencies, what to stay away from, his strengths, his weaknesses. But in the grand scheme of things, you got to do what's best for you, and what's going to work for you.
Now, as of now, you're unbeaten, and you're a rising prospect, and everyone knows that. So when you look at this fight, do you think that's on the line, or do you think this is really the launch pad so every single person knows how to pronounce my last name correctly?
Yeah, Weidman. No, I'm 100% just looking at the positives in this fight. You only live once, and I'm willing to take, if you consider it a risk, fighting on 11 days' notice, I don't see it as too big of a risk. But you only live once, and you don't want to have any regrets. So I'm going out there, I'm just going to have fun, and I'm going to try to make the best of it.
Now, 11 days, you were in shape, you were ready to go as is. Is there any time in life where, do you think it's stupid you get fighters who get a call 10 days, 2 weeks, and they're not prime? Would you still take the fight, or are you just same I only live once mentality, I'm going to try and punch them hard right away?
No, I mean, it depends. It depends on your situation. It depends on, your body, injuries and stuff like that. But, I mean, during the summer, I had an injury. I got up to like 230. I wouldn't have took a fight on 11 days' notice, what I mean? So it's things like that. I knew I could make the weight. I knew it was going to be, a tough cut, but, it just makes it tougher, and it's a good experience for me to bring with me in the future, past this fight.
Now, you said you got up to 230. Is it hard as a fighter maintaining your weight, and then you got to come do this, and you get hungry, and you get thirsty, and you got to travel? I mean, is that one of the hardest aspects of being a fighter, is the weight and the mental drain and the constant, I have to do this to be a professional?
It's tough, but to be honest with you, I'm a little crazy in the fact that I look forward to the struggle. I look forward to the weight cut, the meal afterwards. It's just part of the experience, and if you're not enjoying it, you're going to hate it, and then you're going to end up hating everything that is involved with it. So I try to keep a good spirit even about the weight cut.
Now, where do you walk at normally?
I'm usually around, if in shape, 210, 215, even 208 to 215 if I'm in shape.
And you said you had an injury. What actually prevents you from fighting? I know people fight injured, your hand might hurt now, your knee, but you'll still continue, and I'm going to fight. What actually makes you say, it could be potentially bad for me, this could end my career? What makes you decide that?
Well, it depends on the circumstances. Like my first fight in the UFC, I had a fractured rib, and I really couldn't do anything, and that was 2.5 weeks' notice, and I took that, and it was based on the fact I needed to get to the UFC. I needed to do it, and my coaches believe in me. As long as we don't hurt the rib anymore, and just stay away from it, that if we get in there decently healthy, we'll be okay. And that's what I went with, and it was a huge risk. If I had a fractured rib right now, I wouldn't have took the fight.
Depends on the opponent?
Yeah, it depends on the opponent, the situation, where you are at in life, so.
Now, where you're at now is a big stage just because it's a public TV format. Now, does that actually play any factor in? Does it play, I was fighting at Crazy Bob's, 50 people in the audience, now there's 1 million people watching. Does that play a factor?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that was one of the reasons I actually took the fight. It's on Fox. I mean, the exposure I'm going to be able to get is ridiculous, and in my eyes, it's really the first Fox event, true UFC Fox event, because having multiple fights, and it's a part of the real contract of the UFC and Fox, and so I'll be a part of history, and it was just I just couldn't turn it down. It just excited me, and I was pumped to go.
Now, not to get too much into your personal affairs, but when UFC does something like this, say they're paying you $10. Now, when they say, look, we need you to step up and do this, now your main event, we're going to give you $20, or they just, well, we had you on contract for 10, you're staying at $10?
No, so far, it is what it is, and it is what it is on my contract, and I'm fine with that. I'm happy with they, pay me, and that's one of the reasons. Another reason, it's nice to get some money. So I'm happy with the money they're going to give me, and you forget, you also make a lot of money with sponsorships and stuff too, so that's big with Fox.
Well, I can't ask you more questions. I'm taking up time, but thank you so much, Mr. Weidman. Good luck, brother.